Okay, I'm going to start this off. This is from a radio channel. I don't know where my little placard is at the moment, but we'll fetch that. On the bench is this. There's a story behind this I'll get into. Okay, I stopped the video there for a moment, and while I did that, I noticed a familiar odor, and at first I thought it was the old electronic smell. No, it was the old burnt electronic smell. And what happened was, testing the stereo light, I grabbed the first bulb I could find. His 14 volt. I checked at 80 milliamps, and I was saying, well, 80 seems kind of high, but it seemed okay. The transistor was cold, and this is not off the power supply, the stereo light. It's off of the decoder there, and you have a transistor that does the switching right there. I'm going to tell you a story about this. This only draws 30 amps, so we're going to use that as our stereo light. Our 150 ohm resistor there is a little charred. It still reads 148, and the power of taking pictures prior proves it. I don't have to guess whether it's 15 ohms or 150. It's 150. There it is there, just above the red wire. The power of taking pictures, like I said, one of the pictures had the white wire right in the way of the resistor, but it was a second or third picture. You can see it plain as day. It's this one right here. 1.5 brown. You can't see the brown, but it's 150. Now, back to the subject at hand here. This is a Morse, I won't say the other word, electrophonic, but the same people, receiver. I worked for a dealer at the time, and they sold Magnavox, Admiral, and Morse electrophonic products. And doing odd jobs, I was able to, over the summer, earn enough money to purchase this. This seems to be their flagship model for the time, because there are similar ones, a 1600 and whatnot, but that didn't appeal to me. Those were made in Hong Kong or whatnot. This was made in Korea. And how this all began was with this one over here. This is in rough shape. This is a Scott from about the same period, and I noticed what caught my eye was the nomenclature. It's like the exact same, except for a few of the capitalizations. It's like the same. It's talking to me. I almost think it's the same manufacturer, but I can't be 100% certain. That's what made me think about the Morse 2500. This is a Scott R357. This one's a wreck. The dial string is broken, but in due time we'll get to this. The screen on the top is very similar, if not exactly as the Morse. The speaker jacks are broken on this one, similar to these here. And it has a computer-style AC cord. Same antenna for the AM. Very, very, very similar. Also, the features, headphones are over here, microphone over here. Pretty much the same setup. The tuning for the null of the discriminator. And let's go back to the Morse here. As a kid, the reason I liked the Morse is it had the Phono 1 and Phono 2. Again, this had some inherent defects in it from brand new. So the reason I bought this one was to see if this one actually has the same defect, and I think it does. More on that in a minute. I ordered this. It came a long ways, and I was nervous about it. Paid a lot for shipping. Just don't see a lot of these that often. So let's see. What else did I want to say? The dealer I bought this from sold 3 brands. Magnavox, and this was about 1978. So the Star system, which was a good television system, was their top seller, and it was the top of the line. Admiral at that point, Solar Color, that was... I had asked him what the best television was, and he said Admiral, and it's 1977, 78, and I just couldn't believe that. Those televisions looked terrible. I think it was after Rockwell bought them. Solar Color. They just always looked like cartoons to me, the people. Anyway, all the brands seem to be gone by then, or just junk. Admiral, Magnavox was still a well-known, pretty good, well-respected quality brand, and the Morse Electrophonic was what it was, entry level stuff. So getting back to this, what I've done so far, this receiver had a couple problems. From the shipping, the tuning knob and the plexiglass had all fallen in, the glue had broken, and it has a couple little not really noticeable scratches there, but it fended pretty well for what it went through. This was all loose and broken, and the glass was inside. It was just a mess, but thankfully it arrived in one piece. There's no damage to the cabinet or the corners or dents or anything like that. What else do I want to talk about? Yeah, the grease here I've redone. That required removing the tuning string, getting the plate off, cleaning all this, and I think someone has been in here before, because the screws on the bottom, you can see there, the machine screw here, and they put a huge self-tapper there. Not a lot, maybe 3 or 4 of the threads are all stripped out because they put self-tappers in where machine screws go. I can't stand people that put things together with any kind of screw that holds it. It's either got a fine thread or a coarse thread, or it's just, pay attention. Any event, what else did I notice? I knew this had been apart because the little plastic spacers here on the knobs were actually inside the face instead of out here on the knobs to keep it from scratching the panel. Anyway, where else do I want to go with this? So this is not my receiver. This is one like it, the same model. I sold mine after about 6 years in about 1980, I'd say 84 or so, because stereo TV was coming out. I had the FM hookup and a stereo hi-fi Betamax VCR. Was doing simulcast music videos, recordings. So I wanted the Sony receiver that had the cable input and all that, as the stations used to be on different channels, Cinemax, HBO, Playboy channel, MTV, what have you. And you could tune stereo. It was before stereo TV, actually. If you had the stereo hookup, you could listen to your movies and everything. And pretty good satellite sound back then, I must say. I have some of the tapes. This made some beautiful audio cassettes off radio and some simulcast videos, this receiver. Anyway, doesn't seem to be performing as I recall. One thing about being 40 years old, this receiver, I remember what it sounded like new, and the FM just isn't there. And I'm sure it's capacitors. I can't tell by testing, but just I'll tell you a little bit about what I do know. The problem that this receiver had when it was new, every so often it would send some DC pulse to the speakers. It would go like a like a intermittent short circuit, and then it would clear up when you're really driving, and the cones would pulse in and out real quickly once. It wasn't a problem, it was just annoying. So I had sent it under warranty. As we didn't repair those under warranty, we had to send it down the street to another TV shop, and they were Electrophonic warranty. All they did was they didn't fix it, and they ripped the schematic out of the rear page of the owner's manual. I got the owner's manual back, the receiver back, same problem, no schematic. So I do not have the schematic. It was taken from me on my original one. And Sam's does not have it. Sam's has the 600 model. They do not have this 2500 model. So, that being said, what else did I want to talk about? Enough rambling on here. The problem with the DC, I don't know whether someone's gone in here with an ESR meter or something. Whoever went in here, they should have cleaned the gummed up tuning, because that's what made the flywheel tuning all loose, but that's all been repaired now. This black magic marker, there's one here, and on a couple inside there. A couple in the preamplifier section. What's with this black circle on some of the capacitors? I can't tell you if that's... I don't think it's factory. I think somebody was just in there circling capacitors. Now, one thing why I think that is, because this capacitor here, to stop that intermittent DC going out to the speaker thing that it does, and it's with a fluctuation in power. The power changes a little, it'll do a little, it's the strangest thing. And right now this won't drive a pair of speakers. It plays fine, but I hooked the big speakers up to it and it just doesn't like it. So I don't know whether I'm going to do these, but I definitely know this one here. I hadn't had the receiver 2 years and I'd changed like 2 or 3 of these already. So I know this one is bad. I know this one is bad. And in fact, to stop the DC pulsing intermittent going to the speakers, this is 1,000 at 35, I believe. I think I put another 1,000 in here, but I think I'll put like a 3,300 or something in here. Will do fine. I'm going to up the capacitance on this. And I think I'm going to change the driver. I'm just going to do a cap job. Now back to the FM. What I want to speak about here, now that I have a stereo light and I'm not burning up the load resistor there. It works. But there's muting here. Oh, mute is on. When you turn off the mute, that I don't recall. That's not right. It works, but I think there's noises there all the time. See, the station is there, but it's muting it because it's weak. See? Oh, come on. I think we have too much computer camera noise here. Okay, anyway, enough rambling on. I'm going to search, and I think I'm going to jump out a few of these little these little electrolytics here, and see if I can track, as I've seen or just learned of, is there some noise maybe from the AVC circuit getting back into the front end, because it's working, but it's to me it's not as it should be. So I can get to a strong station, it'll be fine. I don't know. Okay. It doesn't quite tune in the center either. Something is going on here with this antenna here. Okay. Okay, so we're tuned and we're in stereo. It just doesn't sound right. Tuned. I didn't know it did that. Well, I was just playing the phonograph and the tape, and I know the amplifier has the problem with that capacitor there. So that's it, a short video, short narration of the history of the Morse 2500 from on or about 1978. I'll put the FM stereo light back in. I may go LED, I don't know. This seems to be working out pretty well at the moment. That's only 30 milliamps. I'll come up with something for that in the closing, but for now, that's the introduction to the Morse, and after I'm done with the Morse, we may take a look at this Scott over here and get this thing back online. Okay, that's it, Farm Radio. Thanks for watching. Where's my little... You should be watching this on Farm Radio YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.
Thunder Road and...
Okay. I replaced this one with the factory value, which I'm going to probably upgrade to a 2200 or something. These are just some Radio Shack stash we've had. I put some Chinese knockoff capacitors in the other spots I'm not crazy about, but I did that one. I did that one down there that was that had the black circle on it. I still have one with the black circle on it there, but that's in the preamp section. So, and I did this one there, and that, again, that one there. I did two there, and I replaced my 150 ohm resistor there. So that's where we stand. The switches and whatnot have already been cleaned with deoxit, so that's not an issue. Okay, and the stereo light is pretty responsive now. It's better. If it's not stereo, it won't. I move the antenna. I may get stereo, okay? What? Okay. Oh, stand up, you silly, stupid antenna here. It's stereo all down the board now. There's been some improvement, but of course I turned off the noisy power supply that was causing a lot of noise.
With Magic Bees. And Geico is the second largest auto insurer in the country. So breathe easy. We've got your back. Plus, you might be able to save even more money. Because Geico can help you find savings, like military or federal discounts. And Geico offers emergency roadside service.
That's not quite right either, but... And again... Okay, let's take it from 88.
Monday night, celebrate the new year with the Vienna Philharmonic, an opulent concert featuring Vienna City Ballet and hosted by Downton Abbey star Kate Donovan. Catch great performances Monday night at 9 on WGBH2.
And our programs are made possible thanks to you and Subaru of New England, featuring these
Where'd the stereo light go?
TN Worcester.
Your adventures. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Subaru of New England.com. Well, I think we're through
I think he
for
just
the
broke in at midnight,
weekend. We're through for this year, as a matter of fact, I guess.
and
we
the
could
stereo
say.
light went out on these guys.
I should be back with you weekend.
Like New York can. The crowd is ready to celebrate. MC, 30 seconds to go.
No, I was waiting for that.
Is that all, ma'am?
What? Oh, yes, yes.
So it's absolutely WCRB.
To play this next piece, the piece for New Year's Eve. Here's Jeffrey Beagle. His arrangement of
Alright, that's enough of this.
Just 108.
Boy, everybody's like dead air tonight. You see, the center is Wait, everybody's like dead. That's dead carrier there. Somebody's asleep at the wheel here, guys. Just leave it there a minute. They'll come back. Let's see what happens here. Hello? That's bizarre. Well, we'll see if 108 comes back on. In the radio business, you can't have dead air for this long. That's a call on the carpet for this one. I'll just run it here a few minutes. See how long it takes them to figure out that there's no programming going out. It's a good pilot signal to test with, though. It's a weak station, so it's hard to. See, I like that tuning meter to center a little better. Come on. This stereo, mono, stereo, mute. That mute noise is still there. That's what I'd like to get rid of. That's unheard of. Still not back. 12:05. Shut things off so you might get a clean signal here. I'll shut the TV off. Probably the computer that's making that bit of interference. Maybe the antenna? No. This antenna is something else. They put the wires right underneath the stand. There's nothing. There's nothing on that station. Enough of this. AM does work, a lot of interference. course, on AM, there's just signal. There's something here interfering with the FM. Say it's better. Oh, they're back.
Paying your bills. Your shot at $1,000 16 times a day. That's $1,000
They're back.
an hour every weekday on the 10s. Kiss 108 on a mission to pay Boston's bills. It all starts Tuesday at 6:10. Kiss 108.
Okay.
All right, Billy, holiday shopping is in full swing.
Oh my God,
Wow.
it is so.
All right, that'll do it for the Morse part, whatever part this is. Thanks for watching.